Good morning and good evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 298th edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I would say that the market across the globe still very mixed, but we can see that some domain we are seeing a positive trend in some environment, which is a good news for the market. But I will tell you that this trend will continue as far we continue to see different factors, driving a sentiment of concern across the globe. And the good thing is that, because investors will continue to analyze what is happening, in their domain, you will see different kind of reaction, kind of coming up in one way or the other. As to speak now, U.S. Equities has opened on a higher note, while that of Asia market was seen a flat market there. In Europe, was also seen a mixed market as they react to different words, economic data that hit the domain, and also as I look forward to see the major policy meeting that are coming up. Where is the interest rate going? Like I said yesterday, that interest rate determine where funds flow to. It just we call it a circular flow of fund in a financial market. It is where interest go, and you see where there's opportunity. You see, fund flowing there. Also, where's opportunity, less risk. Even where there's higher risk, if fund to flow to that rate, depending what is happening, the reality in that economy or in that domain. That's why what we are seeing, in the market economy, for me, I am not surprised at all. And if you come back home here and look at what is happening in the market today, I'll tell you that, despite the economic concern and the changing fundamental, in the economy today, I see that investors are looking towards one particular investment window, while some are risk averse are also trying to reposition their portfolio to make sure that they have, everything or every kind of investment in this different kind of portfolio or windows to make sure that they have a balanced, what portfolio or a balanced investment. They make a balanced investment decision. But I tell you that you, as a trader or investor, especially those in this forum, will be discussing how you should also invest. I started it when I came back from my training that on Tuesday. The kind of window you're looking at, how to set up your investment or goal, also how to have your entry and exit strategy, and at the same time how your age and also source of your income to also determine the kind of investment you are looking at, and also tailoring to what is happening exactly in your environment, which today, despite the some economic concern in the economy today, and despite the kind of funds that are flowing, I will tell you that there are some particular instruments and also particular sector in the economy that is are having a real attraction and see fund flowing them, and that's why that circular flow of fund we are talking. In the market economy, I said yesterday that for this year that we saw the yield in US touching low for this year, and also with the data that are coming in that environment, that we can see that there's the impact of what of this their Fed consistently increasing rates for almost more than a year. Like I said, start reflecting on what on their inflation. Why was the same thing in Europe, where we saw also in that zone, also in UK we saw it, even in South Africa here. But as we speak now, because there's a gradual slow of inflation, see there will be kind of a change. But another that will be another concern that as of today, despite the positive data we're seeing, oil price also have crossed $80, and that is a lot of what tightening was supply. And don't forget that the global tension for conflict that's happening in Russia and Ukraine are not slowing down. We're seeing that it's almost just escalating. But I believe that as mature the economy and mature the leaders are trying to go into it to find solution. But as I speak now, it's not smiling, and that is why I say even the price of some commodities are already going up because of the green energy that was stopped when Russia pulled out. That's it. All this will have influence, but generally we are seeing a slowdown inflation, and that also tell you that I tell you the rate hike in mature economy cycle is almost coming to an end, and that is also going to be a plus for the global economy if really we go into what rate cut into the future. We saw that in US there was a pause. Now the investors are in between here and there. Is the Fed going to continue with that pause by whether start looking down now, or they want to do the final hike of 25 or 10 basis points before they go? These are the things where but as we speak now, on the strength of the numbers that are coming in that domain, we're seeing that stocks prices are looking up in that market as at this Friday as market open. Even when there's concern for Netflix earnings that were released to the market, but we can see that that sentiment is also changing gradually. But if you look at what's happening in Asia market, I'll tell you that even when China is making more more stimulus to push the economy up, But because of the the mixed sentiment we're seeing for tech stocks or industry, it's also weighing down that market. Initially, I said there's a mixed market. We saw US market open up in a positive light this morning. Why in Asia we saw a mixed market because of this fear of this mixed sentiment for tech earnings and all those stuff. But also believe that Africa is also a bit mixed this morning. But we're seeing in NGS Nigeria here looking up. In Europe, Europe is not left behind. But in all this, there's no cause for alarm because I tell you, today is the last trading day of the week, and we're seeing that factors that are going to also support this market are this Q2 number that are coming. Even you are seeing some mixed number from tech. You can see that earlier number that came from banking sector was also a good one. We believe that as more earnings hit the market, going to shape the market both in advanced market and also our own here. For that, investors should not relax and invest with knowledge and also read the sentiment because I said yesterday that the more we are seeing more earnings, the more we're going to see high volatility in the market, and also investors that are entering the traders will also be taking profit. That some will be selling off where the company that they are in, do meet the expectation. So they're selling off to go to another one. That also, will cause volatility and you see inflow of funds into the market. And which we also seen that yesterday, we saw that flow of funds, which is the IMF are giving us, MFI are giving us about 80.11 basis point as at yesterday. And when we come to chart, we'll see what is also doing today. There's that funds are still in the market, and I know why it's in the market because in any environment, which also I said yesterday, that the monetary policy cannot touch threaten at once your exchange rate, like we're seeing today in Nigeria, which have been verified already. Inflation is already at the peak here. Also, interest rates are high. It shows that the economy, even when we're seeing this kind of rally in the market, the economy itself is already on in a kind of and what I say is it early contraction or late contraction now at this point because interest rate is high, while productivity is also declining. It's a sign of what late contraction. But I believe that with the policy reform we're seeing, we might come out to go into what early expansion, which is also very good. But that will take time and also a patient with the government to see how this is going to play out. But I think also the time the economic matters, if now they were saying that list has go to Senate to see whether appointment is made. They need to sit down and look at the right strategy on the short term, medium term to mean that we put economy in the right direction. That will to shape our own here in Nigeria. But like I said, that oil price continue to look up, even in the midst of miss economic data. But because China has moved another move for stimulus, you can see even though in the midst of a tax, this tax supply, we're seeing also price looking up. But I believe that that also help us that our oil producing economy to boost our external reserve in terms of dollar to this we're seeing this fluctuation of volatility in the FX market with good dollar able to bring price down, no price looking up. This oil price, if it stay above this $80 and more, that will go. But for those that are consuming, those going to kind of also take reverse the inflation we're seeing that is slowing down. Because I tell you, this energy oil, they have more impact on production across the globe. That also change price of goods again. But if it remains below $80, I'll tell you that supported the recent decline we're seeing in inflation because price of oil or energies have slowed down much of the economy. But here in Nigeria, I see we are struggling. Oil prices have gone up. Why they are looking at also increasing the tariff? But I think yesterday we are hearing that the lawmakers are thinking, no, this is not the time. These are the things that we should consider. Timing is also very, very important when we are making policy or when we want to put it there. You don't put everything at once so that you won't choke the people who try the world to be better their life at the end of the day. But I believe that for me, across the globe, the market is not doing badly. And down here, our market is not doing badly. Because this morning, we are seeing the power of earnings in our market here in Nigeria. And which yesterday I was discussing before the internet went off. Sorry for that. That you look at companies or banks that has what operational outside Nigeria because of this revaluation we're seeing because of the exchange the rate of exchange in exchange rate, and that also going to impact on all these banks performance. But one thing you need to know that this is going to reflect in this quarter alone as you are seeing. So like Q3, yes, bank will still because I'll tell you most of the reform is going to impact, but you need to know that this kind of result we saw from First Bank for me is not. I'm not surprised because I've been saying it that the banking sector things are going well for them. I will try to see better number, and this is a confirmation from what I've been seeing on this platform. But I tell you that as an investor, you also want to know why you are in the market and the kind of stock that will be your portfolio. Even when you are investing in banking stock, there are some banks that has value. There are some that also we are there that in terms of dividend yield, in terms of payout, you need to look at all this in terms of what also drive their further earnings at the end of Q3. Yes, we have seen how the valuation have impacted who's going to be across all of them, but subsequently in Q3 and final year, which bank is going to maintain this kind of performance we are seeing. These are the things that we should be taking around now. I can see that all the banks are in green, which is a good news for the financial market, and which we have been saying that target the financial sector and other service sector. Those that are with us, even on the master class, Q&A, we've been emphasizing, but you can see the number. As I said, when people are calling me, market is where I said, let's wait for what the Q2 number, and this Q2 number is confirming that our expectation. But I tell you, don't be carried away with the Q2 number. Once you have set also your target, know when to pull out your profit in the market. It's very, very essential. I tell you, all this was even market any season, it's not and it's not a full year result, it's a half year result. For those that are going to come with interim dividend, we know that interim payment payout in most of these companies are low compared to their full year. You need to put all this in the perspective when you are taking your decision. That means you need to know exactly what you are doing in the market per time. Don't just say because first bank number are looking good, you want to know why you are there. Those that bought earlier, the target you have set for yourself, because there's always a range. Like we in Investdata, we have our entry exit and our exit. That's why we have a buy range, stop loss, profit target, and exit point, exit price. You need to know all this as well. And that's why I started, when I came back from this training, that you must have what, understand what you're doing, have your investment, go and have a plan, and that plan must reflect the reality in the economy, which also you are seeing now. And this number is coming. You can see that First Bank today is already on the bid. We'll come to the numbers and look at, and also know why these numbers are looking at it. Is it going to be sustainable in the period? When we come to that aspect of discussion, we'll also look at it. But for me, markets across the globe, despite their miss generally, but there are some domains are still returning a good, gains for their work for investors. That means you need also to understand how to key so you can catch from this game, because I tell you, in any market will not remain in up direction or in that direction. It is oscillation that creates what the opportunity to buy low and sell high, and also sell high and come and buy low and move that. You go with the trend of the market. Any trendy market is a good market to play. If you look at what is happening in our market is also front to front that trendy thing. So you go up, it pull back, you continue again. And once you pass that one, another trend continue. That is how to trade. But before I go to the chart, a quick one, I want to look at the result that hit the market recently. I will tell you, because of our time, well, I wanted to discuss some yesterday before the internet went off. We saw the life of the Motivas mining and especially the PLC within their Q2. So that number is not looking bad. It's a very good one. For me, it's a start for half year, and that's also good for you to give an insight to what you expect from the company. With these earnings you are seeing in this company, will it support the price is selling? It's very, very important that we know it. For the Motivas, the top line was up by 13%, moved from 259.55 million to 283.74. That's 13% up. PAT also in that direction maintained the upward trend from 56.4 million to 80.992 million naira. That's about 43% up. You can see, despite that it's not up to our already standard investor, that it must be 15% top line and above, and also 20% on bottom line have met it. But you can see that for me, it's not a bad number, it's a good one. This translates to what an EPS of 19 kobo against 13 kobo posted in 2022. That means in this regard, as an investor, you need to know why you are in this body. This earning, you can now from here, from 19 kobo, you can project that at the end of the year, 40 kobo to 45 kobo is possible from Motiva. Will that support a good dividend that will support the price? You need to have also, do you know the payout ratio of this company at the end of the day? When you have all this at the back of your mind, it will help you to know exactly what to do, what to do with the stock as we speak now. That is why, as an investor, these are very, very key. If we look at the profit margin for the period, yes, from 22.42% in 2022, that moved to 28. It's a good one. That means this company, after is becoming more efficient, even as they are increasing their gross their revenue, but they are also improving their cost management, and that's why we are having 28.151. For me, it's a good one, and for me that is okay for the report. Look at the operating cash flow. Operating cash flow also for me is still not there, because we are seeing that we have a kind of a slowdown to around the 121.4 million against almost 190 something in their previous year. We need to also watch cash flow, because cash flow is very, very important. They support this expansion. For me, this one is okay. We want to look at how the third quarter will look like. That will give us more information on this multiverse. But they also, one of the low cap stock there is the initial PLC, which also released a number. This number is missed because if you look at the revenue, yes, it's a small cap company, as I said, revenue of about 400 and moved from 498.77 million to 500 and no 570.15 million, representing for revenue of 14.3% up for that. But why the PAT moved in the opposite direction of the revenue, saw a decline of 20.1, no 20.4, sorry 20.4 in decline from 74.2 million to 59 point million. That's for this small company. At the end of the day, EPS dropped from 8 kobo to 7 kobo. For me, they also in the same direction. Profit margin dropped from 14.85 to 10.36 for this same period. While the operation cash flow remained in negative, that's my concern, negative of 56.8 billion against 49.3, still in negative for the previous year. You need to also watch it, and they are posting it. That's why I'm not surprised seeing a decline in their earnings, in their profit margin. You need to also watch very well. But the last one we want to look at is one that came from First Bank. This is really what we also look at, and also know exactly what to do with this number. This number, we are seeing that yes, we know that high interest rate has play its role here by kind of impacting the gross earnings and all those of the interest income. But we see that other trade in terms of security, all this also a part of it, and also recovering also in the process that have also impacted this in positive number. And don't forget that one thing I say here in one of my articles, that this assets revaluation or revaluation of assets of of what they are is also have improved tremendously on this number, and that's going to be a one-off thing for all the banks coming from their previous year compared to what, because of the exchange rate that was adjusted or kind of unified, is going to play out. But because we know that there are some banks in Nigeria that earn more from outside Nigeria, that have branches outside offshore, that also will see a plus for them. But also, these are the things we are also considering at this point. For me, it's a good time for investors to know that the numbers we are seeing is not what you just carry, not be over rejoice or carry you away. Know that there are some companies that are going to post better, and the next one was consistency is what will matter, not just one-off performance. This, for me, this is the first time I've seen this kind of performance from FBM Holding, which is a good one. Want to see, will the Q3 look like this or Q4, and also what the payout at the end of the year. No, we know that yes, they've changed management, they will change payout. We saw the previous year, and with all the earnings they have paid only 50 kobo. Will the trend continue, or are they going to have a really change in their dividend policy? These are the things we should consider before we say yes. Everybody is not celebrating the number. For me, it's a good one. The local development, a good start for the bank, for a good half year, sorry, for the bank. But we don't want to over celebrate it, but rather take wise decision with this on terms of this number, and know exactly what to do as a trader or investor in this regard. It's very, very important to know that now, so that it will help us to know what to do. Yeah, if you look at the bank gross earning, which I'm not surprised from what we were seeing in the industry, and also the revision of exchange rate, and also so that it moved from the gross earning moved from 359.15 billion to 650 56.55. That is about 83% in the green. That also was related to saw how the FX gain and all those stuff impacted an instrument trading impacted the bottom line much. So however, now to speak now, we can see that the PAT almost almost triple from 56.6 billion to 187.24 billion. That is 231% in the green, and that also reflected on the EPS from 1 naira 55 kobo to almost 5 naira 10 kobo. For me, it's a good one for First Bank. If you look at also the profit margin, we saw great improvement from 15.56% to almost 28.6% also probably. It's a good one. It's a good start, because we have not seen this kind of number from First Bank. Like I said earlier, we need to be very careful. Do not allow this number alone to push a good one that every market, every analyst, every investor, or the market, good institutional investor are looking at. But I tell you, institutional investor will not jump to this market until they do diligence on this number. But for we retail investor who might be reacting to it at this point now, I'll tell you, we need to be guided. That we how to where to put our money, put our part of the to discuss tomorrow in the Q&A section to get detail, and also we'll share views from other analysts and also investors in the market at that meeting. Here we'll stop it here now. I'll go to chat to see what is happening live in the market. It's very, very important. We'll go back to this market to see what the market is doing. As we speak now, I'll tell you that the market is still very, very strong, from all angle. But see that both the high caps and low caps are looking good and are also looking up at this point, which for me is a good one as to speak. The market has crossed another strongest agricultural line of 64 this morning, heading to already heading toward 50 65. And I tell you, last time the market tested 66 before pull back. But already as I speak now, market is heading to that already, that point again at this hour. If you look at the chart here, we're already heading toward to that same 66. Market is already to 50 to 55, 65 already. Once the close is 5, the next is that 65 and 66. I know that more earnings, as we are seeing more high profile earnings coming to the market, and if they also surpass what we saw in first bank, or they maintain the same direction, market will surpass the 66,000 mark again, and that will be also almost 16 to 17 years high. The market enter all-time high, and that tells you what the investor will be doing at that particular time. When you see your market hitting all-time high, it's not a time for you to open your teeth and be smiling alone. You should know how to strategize to pick up, pull out your profits, because market will bound to correct at that peak. You need to understand all this, that market is going up, it's a good one. But the good thing is that the kind of fund that put the market up in 2008 and what we are doing now is not the same thing. And that is the job we have, that risk trend can be sustained as far as we are seeing more earnings, and these reforms was seen. And also as the ministers come on board, each sector or each possibility they are managing the plan that they are bringing in to achieve the 60% GDP for this government. And that plan also have the work also implemented. But that's why for me, equity space look more attractive now, and will become more wide attractive in tomorrow's class again. And what you'll be looking at, and which industry you should be put your money, because of the economic concern now. I know that yes, reforms are going to put some sort of in a corner, in a tight corner. Why some sector industry will also be benefiting and be smiling to the banks, and also if the economy improves, food sector, because of the nature, the earning powers of the people. Also, this I think we need to consider. But as we speak now, like I was saying, the market is doing 64,932.37, up by 1,001.65. Market is up almost 1.12, 1.6. Market is doing 1.65658, which is almost 1.6 as we speak now. For me, it's a good news. If you look at the market breadth now, market breadth is very, very positive, supporting the trend we're seeing. We're seeing 33 gainers at this hour and just 7 losers in the market today. For me, this is a good one and a good news for we investors. But I said, don't be carried away with stock market, even when market, I always emphasize on this, so that you know exactly when to take profit, because sentiment is not fundamental. What we are seeing reaction in the market is reaction to what? Earnings, and that's your reaction. But when the fundamental bracket from first bank, this is good result for them, and this is also going to show where we are going as a market or as an investor in this market, so that at the end of the day, you know how to cash out your profit. But quickly on, we're going to go to the chart now to see what is happening in this chart. Today being the last trading day of the week, what is that insight is it giving us for the next week or upcoming week? Where is almost the last week for the the week for the MPC, that also lead to the last week for us to get what the half year result for those that are not paying entry dividend. Why those are going to do on this account will be from the month of August. But let's see how the month of July is going to work. For me, already going to end in the green from what we are seeing, the move we are seeing already in the market. Yes, if you look at the top losers at this hour, we are seeing that Academic Press, the NSL Tech, and this I saw again the previous day. You can see the Sovereign Trust Insurance, you can see also Suno Assurance, and also GSK. These are the ones that are leading the top losers at this hour by this time. Then if you look at the gainers side, we are seeing the computer warehouse again leading again. All these are local stock. We are seeing the Jais Bank, followed by Stampic IBTC, Sterling Bank, and Unity, and other banks like Zenith Bank, Access Bank, Unity. You can see them also. I tell you can see all this work I mentioned at 10% gain. You can see the morale and the sentiment and the psychology behind the market as we speak now. And that's why I said, because it's a sentiment, what you do, know when to take profit, and also know where you are keeping. When I say profit, I didn't say to set down your position, always get me right, then know what to do right now, because this market is bullish. And also because we are seeing expecting more better number, we need to take a gradual position to see how others will come, and that is how to go now as we speak. Finally, look at the volume. Look at the volume. UPA is leading in volume now almost 89.39 million shares traded so far at 14 naira 90 kobo, but also in Access Bank followed by almost 68.31 million shares traded so far. Zenith Bank 58.7 million shares traded. Fidelity is not left behind, 40.9 million shares traded so far, and GT Code. You can see that the financial sector, especially the banking, are dominating in volume. You can see that investors are seeing this opportunity, just like what happened in US last week, Friday or Thursday, when most of the big banks there we saw how it turned the market over there within that weekend to close positive. We're also seeing the same thing here in Nigeria, and today is Friday. I tell you, this trend will continue, in coming week, especially if the MPC come and the rate is changed, is left unchanged or paused. That is what was spread, and I believe that most of the that come from MPC, but already we have seen signs that they are not interested in taking rate up, just to work to go the way of the physical authority. That is why the two have to work hand to achieve a goal and a deliver Nigeria economy in the part of what in the part of growth. For me, let's go to chart. The market is not doing badly, and like I said, don't fall in love with the market. You know exactly when to take what, when to take profit. Yes, if you look at the chart now, the chart is already also forming what we call a V shape, which is also a bullish chart, a bullish chart pattern. We see a V shape, or you call it a cup, or you know what you want to call it. You can see call it a saucer, but you have say V shape. So you can see that once market get to this level, say that market can also go up above it from here to here. When that means you can see the market has possibility of touching 70. If the numbers continue, and also more positive information also come from the government, and also we'll see how the fundamental activity in the economy is managed, and the consign also start coming down. That will also add more strength. But as we speak now, on the strength of inflation, I'll tell you the market remains attractive and more fund is flowing. And when we call up other indicators, you see the kind of fund that's entering the market as we speak now. But looking at the chart, I'll tell you that first of all, look at what is happening in the chart. This chart is making also higher high. You can see where it's going now, almost heading towards 65, as I've said earlier. You can see it here. It's a good pattern we're seeing. And we're also seeing that volume is also coming up. If at the end of the day, the kind of volume we saw yesterday was to close today, that is a good one for this market. It will show that since May 29, the kind of volume and the kind of we're seeing in the market shows that we're seeing reposition taken by the smart money and also by retail investor. But I believe that the smart money are doing most in the market, because with the new living standard in Nigeria, I think less retail market players, because it's when you have savings that you can play market. Most of the people, their savings have been affected because of what high cost of living. That's why as funds are coming from this mature market, my institutional investors, the smart money, the market. That's why you that have little can also know how to come to this market and and multiply and create wealth for yourself, because that is the only way to hedge against inflation and also boost your wealth, your source of income, and enhance your living standard. Yes, this is the market I've said. I want to call up our indicators. Before our time, let's call our indicator. Yes, it will give us more information, and what I want us to explain that as market is going up, what are we experiencing, what are we seeing from the chart, but it's very, very important. And you know that I don't like to kind of clouding this chart with indicators, but if you want to have here, you want to make use of it effectively and understand what is happening. Yes, you can see that the market is above the T line. That is one good thing that you want to look at first. Whenever you see the T line below the index action, say that market is strong, and I already what you also seeing that you can see that it's below the T line. For me, it's a good one that will also understand how it works. You can see it here. You can see that market have been above the T line since they cross it here. That remain above that. That is a good news for the market. But you come and look at what is happening to MACD. MACD before now tell you that there's a kind of a very divergent. We believe that with this rally, we see that must start seeing a convergence. Looking at what this histogram down here, as I can start the first time I see that it's going up. That have been on the downtrend before now, but this hour I can see it going up. Let's watch and see. The market have been on a very divergent, even as I closed the trade yesterday. But this morning we are seeing a sign of momentum moving in the direction with the market, with the index action, which is good. But if you look at money flow, as I just said, is still leading 79.52. As at yesterday, it was 80.11. That want to see that the fund also is flat at this hour. But let's see if we understand what is happening in the market. It's very, very important that we understand that. But that will go a long way to tell us what is happening in the market. Don't need to panic at all. because I tell you the market is very intact. I told you that when the market pullback is going to gather more strength, which is what we are seeing already in this chart now. This is for what? For a daily chart. We can look at what the market is doing on the 5-minute charts. It's very key. 5 minutes chart telling you, I'll tell you on 5 minutes market is very strong. Looking at your what? Your T line. You can see market at the remain above the T line all this while. Yes, we are seeing a divergence here in terms of momentum, but still trending up. We want to watch. Now we are seeing an uptrend in terms of market, and we believe that let's see whether they will converge toward for the index and the momentum to start moving in the same direction. That will add more strength to the market. But if you look at money flow on this one, it's still very strong on the 5-minute chart. Quick one, look at 15 minutes before look at 1 hour, then we move to look at what is happening in the other individual stock. You can see still on 15-minute chart, very strong. I'll tell you bullish. You can see that money flow is also within 98 on that. Fine, there's no sign now for, but you can see that there's still strength in the market as we speak. 1 hour charts, all these are very necessary if you are doing a day trading like we're doing live. Like you need to look at all this to guide you whether if you go or start taking profit, because you know when there's weakness on a shorter time frame before it become before it show on a big time frame where we are taking decision on your whether you watch all these time frames for different analysis insights. Yes, you can see on the 1 hour the market is still bullish. You can see your MACD even becoming stronger here. You can see it here in the last 2-3 trading days. We can see on the 1 hour chart. For me, it's okay. Market has been above the T line, even though you can see it here. Like I said, money flow is reading almost 95 on the 1 hour chart. For me, it's not a bad thing at all. Like I said, we can look at what is happening in the life of what's happening in Jaiz Bank. What is the strength in that Jaiz Bank? That are you holding? If you are in that stock, are you holding now, or you want to exit? You want to know exactly what to do in that bank, because I see Jaiz Bank is among the top gainers at this hour now. Look at what is happening in Sterling Bank, and the type of look at what is happening in the Access Bank before call it a day, because our time is far spent. Yes, this is for Jaiz Bank. On a day chart, you can see that above the T line, you can see a strong one move. I can see that also forming also a double top here, that red here, and you can see once you break it out again, it's a good one. But we're also seeing that MACD is already looking up here. You can see that cover up, or once it also confirm this momentum was let's watch and see. But money flow is still looking down on what on a 1 hour on a day chart. But we're seeing that our histogram here is also turning up. We're saying as momentum accelerating up. You can see from here move up. Once able to cross and become bullish, that would be nice. But look at 1 hour chart for this stock. And see on the 1 hour chart, also 1 hour chart being a sign of also little profit taking activities. They can see it there, but still on a bullish trend above the T line. MACD is bullish and money flow is also above 50. But for me, it's not a bad one at all. Look at 15 minutes to see 15 minutes. There's probably taking activities there gradually coming that stuff. I need to watch it. Because of our time, let's finally look at the access call, because time is not on our side again, to see what is happening there right away and how can we take advantage of this movement now in the market. Today being last trading day of the week, but just have a minute to go. Yes, on 15 minutes chart, I will tell you to also you can see what is happening. I say on 15 chart, there's also some profit taking activities here. You can see it, even when the volume is up, everything is looking up. You can see on 15 minutes profit taking activity gradually. You can see also MACD. We're seeing a little divergent here, good one. But for you to have an insight what is happening, look at 1 hour chart for Access Bank. 1 hour chart, we're seeing the sign of that profit taking here. Even though it's still trading around the 18 naira 25 kobo, I thought 18.30, 18.25 now. Your profit taking small, but above the T line, which is good. MACD is positive on and money flow is already reading 82 on the 1 hour chart. Then come back to see the stock on a day chart. On a day chart, it's almost forming the same pattern with the market. You can see the V shape I said earlier, or call it can see it already. Was able to break out this point here. Don't forget that this stock have tested 20 naira previously before pullback. Was able to cover this strong resistance level here at 19 around 19 naira. Was able to cross that 19 naira again. That is where you see another fresh uptrend has come. But this recovery is still very strong. You can see the strong candlestick here, and you can see also MACD is accelerating. Once it cross and this blue one cross the red one up, that confirms a new strong bullish and a good long trend. But money flow is looking down today, but above 50, 56. Can see that for me, let's watch the market next week. But for these banking stocks, their numbers are still outstanding, and also that has the interest dividend paying policy is where we should also put ahead and watch. If you're already in them, don't need to panic, put your position and watch. On this note, I say thank you for your time and see you on Monday by God's grace. And also those are in the Q&A premium class, we'll be discussing detail on the market, by tomorrow 12 noon, and also stock to position and stock also to sell also be discussed in that class. Because you need to sell some stocks to enter some new position. You need to do that because I tell you there are some sectors and industry that will benefit from what is going on in the economy, and some also will also be grooming. On that note, I say bye. Enjoy your weekend.